Hey you guys, what is up? I have a super exciting video. This is like the first time I think I've ever posted 2 videos on my channel in one day because I'm that freaking excited about this collection. It is the Natasha Denona Mini Love collection. I have the entire collection here to share with you guys. I'm going to be showing you guys swatches. I'm going to be doing like a tutorial where I use the cheek palette, the eye palette, and then the lipstick, of course. So really quickly before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, let's do some close-ups and swatches of everything. I'm going to tell you guys like the prices, and then we're going to get into the tutorial part of the video. All right, you guys, so here we have the outer packaging of the Mini Love collection. I freaking love the color pink that they chose for the outer packaging. It is beautiful. So first up, we have the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. This palette costs $25 and it has 5 shades in it. It says that it has 5 ultra pigmented pink and purple toned eyeshadows inspired by the Love Eyeshadow Palette with matte metallic and duochrome finishes. So here is the palette. Look how beautiful this is. I'm literally so excited about this. Here are the shades up close. Let's do some arm swatches. So we're first going to start over on this side. This one is a duochrome and look how beautiful that is. That's swatched so nice. These next 2 shades are both mattes. Okay, honestly, that swatched so nicely. Like the mattes are so buttery. Now we have the darker matte shade. There is that one. And then we have these 2 last shades, which are both metallics. Wow, that shade is so pretty. It's a lot more pink than I was imagining. I thought it was more of a champagne, but it's definitely more of like a light pink. And now I'm going to swatch the last shade. Ooh, that one's really pretty. All right, so here are all the shades from the eyeshadow palette. Let me show you guys up super close. These are gorgeous. All right, so next up we have the Love Cheek Duo, which costs $42. This has a cream blush in the shade Daria, and then it also has a new shade of highlighter, which is a warm pinkish chrome that shifts from pink to champagne. You guys, this packaging is even prettier in real life than from the pictures that I saw online. Like, let me move this around. Like, are you serious? So fun. So here are the shades. I think the highlighter might be too deep for my skin tone, but this blush shade is so pretty. All right, so I'm first going to swatch the cream blush. Ooh, that feels really nice. Ooh, that has really good pigmentation. All right, now I'm going to swatch the highlighter. That is really pretty. I think for me, this might actually be more of like a blush topper because it is a little bit deep for my skin tone. And then lastly, we have the lipstick. This is the I Need a Nude lipstick. And then we just have the shade name on one side. The packaging of this lipstick is seriously so nice. It feels so heavy. And then here is the shade. I was not originally going to buy it, but then I decided to go for it because I've never tried any of her lipsticks and the shade looks stunning. I'm going to do a little arm swatch. That feels very creamy. Love the shade. So here are swatches of everything. So now that you guys have seen everything up close, let's go ahead and get started with trying everything out on the face. All right, so I'm looking a little bit crazy right now because I only have foundation and concealer and I have not set anything in place because we're first going to go in with the cheek palette and I'm going to be using the cream blush in this palette. So I'm going to be picking up a little bit of the cream blush and I'm just going to use a beauty blender for this because I personally like to do cream blush with a beauty blender. Oh my goodness. Okay, that had a lot more pigmentation than I was imagining. Wow, some cream blushes like have literally no pigmentation and this one, okay, whew, that blended out so easily. This one has crazy pigmentation, but that blended out so nicely. All right, let's add a little bit on this side. Wow, it like really looks crazy at first. So I'm just using like the flat side of my sponge and then I'm gonna flip to the side and then blend it out. That blends out. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've never actually purchased anything from Natasha Denona before, but I'm like really impressed. Now I know why her stuff is so expensive. All right, so here's what the cream blush looks like. I feel like it looks beautiful. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set my entire face and then we're gonna try out the highlighter. So now that everything is set in place, I'm going to be trying out the highlighter. Now, as I said earlier, I'm not sure if this is gonna work on my skin tone, but we're gonna try it anyways. It might just be more of like a blush topper for me. So once again, here's a close-up of the highlight shade. And let's see, it's a really pretty shade. I just don't know if it's gonna work on my skin tone. Wow, okay, that actually is pretty, but I'm not like the biggest fan of pink highlights, so I probably wouldn't use this very often, but it is very pretty. But yeah, it's just a little bit too deep for my skin tone. I'm like so pale right now, you guys. I really need to do a self-tan, like, so bad. I'm honestly surprised that I can even wear this as a highlight at all with how pale I am right now. But yeah, there is the highlight. Super pretty. Love the blush shade. The blush did not fade away, like, once I set my face, which does happen a lot with cream blushes. Like, sometimes you just can't even see them anymore once you set your face, but this one you can definitely see it still. So now we're gonna move on to the eyeshadow palette, which I'm sure you guys are so excited to see this palette in action, and so am I. So of course, the first thing I'm gonna do is prep my lids with my P. Louise base. This is my favorite eyeshadow base, which I'm sure you guys all know that if you have been following me for a while. I'm just going to blend this all over my lids. It's gonna look a little messy at first, but I'm gonna blend it all out, don't worry. So I really wanna use all of the shades in the palette. I like to do that with my review videos. So I'm first gonna pick up the lighter matte shade right here from the palette. And I'm just gonna take this in like a small little blending brush. And I'm just gonna kind of like tap this into the crease. It's gonna look crazy and messy, but I'm gonna blend it outwards and kind of diffuse it, since there's not like a super light matte in this palette to kind of be my transition shade. So I'm gonna kind of build it up like closer to the crease and then kind of like diffuse it backwards. So just once again, I'm gonna kind of tap this in the crease. And then once I've deposited all of the color, then I'm gonna blend it upwards. And these shadows have amazing pigmentation. Like, I honestly was shocked the first time I used a Natasha Denona palette, the one that I got in my BoxyCharm, because the quality is so good. I'm also going to run this shade along the lower lash line, and I'm gonna kind of like connect it to my outer corner over here and just blend upwards. So now I'm going to take this kind of like deep purple shade on a small blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of lightly start blending this on the outer corner and slightly into the crease. I'm going in like very light-handed with this because I know these are like crazy pigmented. Honestly, these blend so easily. I'm going to go back in with my original brush I used and just kind of take that first lighter matte shade and start blending kind of like on top and a little bit above that deep shade that I put down. So now I'm gonna pick up this light pink kind of champagne shade, and I'm not even gonna like cut my crease or anything. I'm just gonna start putting this on the lid. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. I'm also gonna put this right here in the inner corner, kind of connect it onto the lid. Now I'm gonna apply the kind of more of like a medium pink, and I'm just gonna put this right next to the first shade, kind of just like on the center part of my lid, and then I'm gonna like blend those two shades together. And I can't believe how good these look without like concealer on the lid or anything, and my brush is dry, so those look pretty good. And lastly, I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the Duochrome, and I'm just going to apply this to the rest of the lid. This one is a little bit chunkier than the metallic shades, and I'm definitely getting a little bit more fallout with this shade. I'm gonna wet my brush with this shade because I'm getting like fallout all over my face. So yeah, let's see with a wet brush. Yeah, that definitely helps this shade. So now I'm gonna go back in with that kind of like deep purple, and I'm just gonna kind of blend this back on my outer corners just to kind of deepen everything back up and blend the outer corner with the lid shade right here. I'm also gonna add some of that dark purple shade to probably like the outer half of the lower lash line, and I'm gonna blend it back to the outer corner. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara, fill my brows, and then we'll be back to try out the lipstick. All right, so here is the eye look complete. I did not want to add any falsies or anything and like cover up the eyeshadow, but I love the way that it turned out. If I could change anything about this palette, I would probably replace one of these shimmery shades with another lighter matte shade, and then I would prefer this palette a little bit more, but I do think it's a gorgeous palette and definitely a great color story. I really enjoyed that a lot, and I loved the quality. So now we're gonna go ahead and apply the lipstick. Once again, here is a close-up of the shade. Oh my gosh, that's so creamy. All Alright, so here is the lip shade. Honestly, I am so glad that I picked this up. I was originally not going to get the lipstick, and then it was like a last minute decision to pick this up, and I freaking love it. It looks so good. The shade is definitely prettier in real life than like the pictures that were posted online. Like, I wasn't that interested when I saw the pictures, but in real life, the shade is gorgeous. I feel like it'll look nice on so many different skin tones, and it feels very comfortable on the lips. The pigmentation is great. It's like buttery smooth. So yeah, let me go ahead and do something with my crazy hair, and then I'll be back to give you guys my final thoughts. So this is about as good as my hair is gonna get. I have super crazy hair, but yeah, I walked over into my bathroom to like do my hair and stuff, and honestly, like this highlighter and blush in the mirror in like natural lighting looks so good. I definitely like the highlighter more now that I just saw it in natural lighting than I did like in here with the studio lights. Like, it looks beautiful. It's not like a chunky glitter at all. It's very smooth and kind of like pearlescent highlighter. It is a lot more blinding than I thought it was gonna be, and I can't believe how much I like it. This is my first ever Natasha Denona purchase, and I'm definitely not disappointed. Honestly, I can't even like think of one thing to recommend to you guys, which I normally do that. I'll tell you like one thing from a collection that I think you guys should get, but honestly, I love all three of these. First of all, the packaging is beautiful. I'm a sucker for packaging. Like, this is everything. Like, I love the glitter. I think it's beautiful. So this cheek duo is very expensive, but honestly, I feel like it's worth the price. The cream blush was amazing, and it definitely did not fade away. It blended out beautifully. The pigmentation, so good. I love the shade. This is another shade that I feel like will look good on a lot of different skin tones. The highlighter is gorgeous, and I wasn't sure at first how I felt about it, but now looking at it, I actually really like it, and I feel like it is looking a little bit more gold than I originally thought, and I think it looks beautiful, and I'm just obsessed with this already. And then the eyeshadow palette, I think, is beautiful. The mattes were so pigmented. They blended out very nicely. The Natasha Denona eyeshadow formula, I've noticed, swatches beautifully, and it goes on the eyes beautifully. I really love the color story of this palette. The quality of these obviously are amazing, and if I could change one thing, as I said, I would probably add one more matte and just take away one of the shimmers, but that's because I personally use more mattes than I do shimmery shades. But for a $20-something palette, I feel like this is a really good deal, and it's gorgeous. I love it. The quality is amazing. And then I am so happy that I picked up the lipstick. This shade is gorgeous. My lips honestly look like so smooth. Like, just looking at them, I feel like they look really good, and I love the shade. The shade is very flattering. Perfect shade for every day, so I'm obsessed. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you guys gonna pick up anything from this collection? I personally would really recommend it, especially if you guys have never bought anything from Natasha Denona. I feel like this will really like blow you away with the quality. So if these products are available, I will have them linked in my description box below. If not, I'll just put like a placeholder for them, and then when they are available, I will have them linked there for you guys if you want to check them out. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you guys turn on your notifications, that way you do not miss out on any of my future videos. All you have to do is click the bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.